I'm hit. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. Though when those big 20mm rounds slammed into my fuselage, I knew without a doubt that my Corsair was a goner. Flatt, you got smoke pouring out of your plane. You okay? I heard the words of my squadron commander crackle over my radio. I snatched up the mic and hollered into it. Hound Dog 1, this is Hound Dog 3. I'm hit. I'm losing fuel. I'm going in. A string of curses, and then, I'm sorry, Marine. Good luck and keep your head up. We're coming after you. My grandfather Graham couldn't have known it then, but when he guided his crippled fighter into the jungles of Okinawa and nearly died in the violent crash, he'd discover an ancient Japanese secret that would change nearly 100,000 lives. Hi, my name is Brian Flatt. I'm a personal trainer and fitness expert about to share an astonishing story with you about how my grandfather's dogfight with 3 Japanese Zero fighter aircrafts during the Battle of Okinawa in 1945 ironically led to a dramatic discovery that would literally and dramatically change the life of a 39-year-old single mom from Arkansas. I know, crazy, right? What could one of the most ferocious battles during World War II and a fresh-faced 22-year-old Marine second lieutenant who nearly died as his aircraft smashed into the dense jungles of Okinawa have to do with Debbie Hayes losing over 40 pounds and dropping 6 dress sizes faster than what seems humanly possible? Yes, you heard that right. What Grandpa Graham stumbled upon literally after he dragged himself away from the wreckage of his Corsair would become the basis for one of the most effective and amazing weight loss systems the Western world has ever seen. And I'm going to share the secret that he discovered with you today. Here's Debbie before I met her, and this is Debbie now. Debbie achieved this and so much more without taking expensive pills, without risking her life on dangerous surgeries, and without busting her guts on crazy workouts of any kind. Nor did Debbie starve herself. I caution you, you may be shocked and even a little angry after hearing what I've got to tell you when I share the simple but powerful method that led to Debbie losing a total of 45 pounds in rapid time. And on top of losing weight, Debbie regained her youthful glow and a level of healthiness she hadn't known since her 20s. Debbie had been fighting a losing and frustrating battle with her weight for years. She had tried every magic push-button program, every radical diet, and was even considering stomach stapling because nothing was working and she was still putting on the pounds. The light at the end of Debbie's tunnel finally seemed to come out of the blue and is backed by hundreds of independent clinical studies all over the world, and it's directly thanks to a young Marine pilot named Brian Flatt who almost bought the farm in 1945. What my granddad discovered is so astonishing and so effective, it's literally altered the lives of 94,531 people so far. The secrets that he'd learned and that would help bring him back to full health led me to dedicating my life to sharing my grandfather's amazing secret and helping people like Debbie to lose weight dramatically, permanently, and safely, boost their health, and change their lives for the better. Again, I warn you that in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to expose you to some of the biggest and most destructive lies about weight loss and nutrition. These lies are so insidious that they aren't just stopping you from losing weight. They're opening the door for cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and other illnesses to working their way into your body right now, and you wouldn't even realize it. Let's start with this one. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat less. On the surface, this makes sense, right? After all, how many diets preach fasting and undereating? Well, I'm here to tell you that this is one of the most destructive weight loss myths there is. Sure, you need to eat fewer cupcakes, but not less food. Undereating causes a biochemical reaction in your body that's known as survival mode. When the body is starved of nutrients, it begins to store whatever it is getting as fat cells to be used later on in an emergency. Eventually, not only does your body store more fat, it begins to consume the most convenient and biggest source of immediate energy, your muscle tissue. Did that sound crazy? How about this one? Cutting carbs is not an effective weight loss option. What? But Brian, everyone says to cut carbs when you want to lose weight. Yeah, I know, but the truth is that your body needs carbohydrates. Obviously from vegetables, but even those from potatoes, rice, and pasta. Hell, if you're losing weight properly, then it's even okay to eat potato chips and pizza. Here's the thing. Think of carbs and proteins as fuel. Carbs give your body immediate energy because they break down quickly, and protein gives your body long-term energy because it breaks down slowly. A properly balanced diet and exercise program require that you load up on carbs a few times per week. I know it sounds crazy, but as we continue, I'll explain why this is true. As if you don't already think I'm off my rocker, let me share this with you. There are now thousands of studies that clearly demonstrate that consistent and aggressive cardio routines not only have little effect on weight loss, but they can actually lead to serious health issues like arterial plaque and oxidative stress, and they ramp up your risk of heart attack due to scar tissue buildup. I know, everyone says cardio is king, but the science has proven this to be false. On top of that, people who overdo the exercising bit are far more likely to shorten their lifespans because they're increasing their risk of heart attack. Have I confused you or even ticked you off yet? If not, let me give it one more try. All those slim and trim spokespeople for Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, South Beach, Weight Watchers, and the like are actors. Sorry to burst your bubble, but they didn't get those sexy bodies by sucking on a couple of Slim Fast shakes and then gnawing their way through a half-freaking cheesecake for dinner. Don't worry though, because in just a few seconds, I'm going to pull back this secret curtain and reveal to you exactly how those super fit celebs do it, how they lose weight and stay fit. So, pay close attention to this presentation. Best of all, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how Debbie Hayes, a regular working single 39-year-old mom, lost a huge amount of weight in her first week, went on to lose more than 40 pounds in a little over a month, and used this dramatic weight loss to change the course of her life. How she defeated the onset of type 2 diabetes, and how her new body gave her the confidence to land the relationship of her dreams. I'm also going to show you why my granddad being shot down and crashing into the jungles of Okinawa led me to the discovery that not only saved Debbie's life, but nearly 100,000 others as well. So, mute your phone, shut the door, and settle back into a comfortable chair for a few minutes, because you just can't afford to miss any of the life-changing secrets I'm about to share. And on top of that, I'm going to show you several incredible fat-burning secrets a little later in this video that you can put to work right away. Secrets that will melt away the pounds and dramatically boost your body's healing power. You're about to learn the time-tested and scientifically proven fat-burning system that's guaranteed to dissolve fat cells and melt away the pounds with remarkable swiftness, energize and rejuvenate your entire body, balance your body's biochemistry, boost your sex drive, promote rapid healing and robust long-term health. You're going to see true results so quickly that you won't be able to understand why the big-name TV docs haven't been pushing this for years. Here's the best part about what my grandfather discovered. You'll be able to slim down quickly and safely without undergoing dangerous surgeries, buying harmful drugs, wasting your precious money on overpriced and questionable supplements, or heart-wrenching workouts. No BS diet programs or costly fitness junk. Age, gender, ethnicity, none of these matter. These have proven to mean nothing to this system because it's based on your body's physiology and anatomy and works in unison with natural biological processes in all human beings. Before I get started though, I need to tell you something. It may come as no surprise that the weight loss business isn't really happy about what I'm sharing with you here today. Weight loss and fitness represent tens of billions in annual revenue in the US alone. They make unimaginable amounts of cash by pushing fad programs and solutions on us. Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Atkins, and a whole bunch of other programs are perfectly geared to take your money and give you little in return. They're threatened by what I'm talking about because I'm taking money out of their pockets by exposing the lies they use to scam Americans out of their hard-earned money. Do I sound paranoid? As of 2010, and that's a while back now, a market data study showed that the weight loss industry generated over $61 billion in the US alone. Think of it like this. If each one of the 94,000 people I've helped with this system I'm going to show you bought a gym membership, took one supplement a month, and tried any of the weight loss programs for only 3 months, it would have added up to a cost of about $1,800 per year. Multiply that by 94,000 and you're talking tens of millions of dollars I've taken out of the hands of the big weight loss and fitness players. Of course, they want to shut me down. I almost can't blame them. Except for the fact that not only does a lot of what we're told about weight loss keep us overweight, but it can actually be very dangerous to our health too. So, I just can't sit back and let them get away with it. The true irony is that what I'm about to share with you about how to cut the pounds without draining the bank is almost shamefully new to me too. I've been in the fitness industry all my life as a personal trainer and nutritionist, and it wasn't until my search for something new led me to the astonishing truth my grandfather had known for decades that my eyes were truly opened. I nearly missed the wisdom and powerful truth Grandpa had been sitting on for over 70 years to open my eyes to a remarkable weight loss system, but I'm glad I did, and now I'm going to let you in on it right here in this video. I know you'll feel the jolt of excitement when you finally get your hands on what you've been seeking for so long, just like the 94,531 regular folks who have already benefited from Brian Flatt's chance discovery back in World War II. And no, I don't expect you just to take my word for it. In a moment, I'm going to explain the science behind what Eastern cultures have known for countless generations. Think about how great it would be to wake up tomorrow morning with as much energy as you had back in your 20s, regardless if you're 35 or 95. You watch as day by day your muffin top shrinks, your gut dissolves, and your clothes begin to billow out around you. You will feel more energetic and look and feel healthier than you have in years. Even more amazing, and maybe the biggest benefit of all, is that the symptoms and causes of most major health issues like high cholesterol, hyperthyroid, hypertension, high blood pressure, and chronic joint pain will simply fade away so quickly it'll seem like a miracle. The secrets I'm about to show you are so simple and unbelievable, you'll probably find yourself feeling very skeptical at first, which is perfectly natural. For one thing, if you're anything like me, you'll wonder how in the hell this stuff wasn't already common knowledge. At first, I just couldn't believe what my grandfather was sharing with me, how our own body's anatomy already housed an incredibly powerful fat-burning cycle. It wasn't until I started digging deeper and began to uncover scientific proof that what we Westerners believed was false and that what Easterners believed was rooted in proven human biology. Remember, I'm a card-carrying fitness guru. I'm trained in the common mumbo-jumbo that we're all exposed to in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and other Western nations. Yet, when I began to see the results of people who followed what Grandpa Graham and I put together, I couldn't deny the truth. How men and women, some just a little overweight, and some who were firmly entrenched in obesity, simply began to shed pounds like a snake sheds its skin. I'm talking young men and women, middle-aged moms and dads, and even a host of retirees began to slim down right before my eyes. It was life-changing. Especially when I watched Debbie Hayes drop 10 pounds in the same time that many people struggle just to lose 2, and then keep it going until she met her goal of 45 pounds and changed her life for the better. Not just that she looked great, that's always a plus, but Debbie used my system to pull herself from the brink of what was looking to be major health issues such as type 2 diabetes, heart attack, and stroke. Yeah, all this was headed for her like a freight train at the age of only 39. Even more, Debbie went off to her class reunion and connected with a man she had once known in her high school years and sparked off what has proven to be the most rewarding relationship of her life. Nothing can replace that feeling and how Debbie inspired me to share what I've learned with the world. Everyone has a story, and it's my privilege to be part of them all. It's humbling to see tens of thousands of people just like you and me trying and succeeding with this system for themselves. You see, I absolutely know that what I'm about to share gives you the lean, healthy body you want as well as the level of confidence you haven't felt in years, if ever. Yet, I almost know that, even more amazing, these ancient secrets and simple steps also eliminate many dangerous toxins, destructive free radicals, and even heavy metals from your body to make you feel young again. Following this program literally breathes new life into each and every cell in your body. This is precisely what Linda in Cranston, Rhode Island found out. She lost 22 pounds in a matter of weeks. It really hit home when she went to try on her normal size 13 dress at JCPenney one day and was shocked to realize that it felt like a tent on her. She tried on every smaller size until, to her astonishment, she found that a size 9 was the perfect fit. And Sam in Tampa, Florida, who lost 43 pounds and was surprised as his doctor to learn that his LDLs, the bad cholesterol, that had been dangerously high and forcing him to take medication were now at a normal, acceptable level. His high blood pressure had also diminished too. Sam is now slimmer than he's been in 20 years and has more energy and money in the bank, frankly, than he's had in years too. Then there's Sheila from Austin, Texas. Just by following my program for a little over a month, Sheila dropped a whopping 1/4 of her total body weight. She told me that aside from the energy and the slim body she'd seen in the mirror, her confidence levels seemed to go through the roof. Sheila had been in a dead-end job and hating life. With her newfound boost of self-esteem, she took the leap to go back and finish her degree and recently told me she's working as a dental hygienist, making better money and loving what she does. Listen to what Amber from Thousand Oaks, California has to say. Dear Brian, like many people, I guess, I was pretty skeptical at first. I mean, you can't throw a stick today without hitting some new fad or gimmick in the weight loss area, right? Yet, what you shared in your presentation was so astonishingly simple and backed by hard science, I couldn't really turn my back on it. I had to do something, so I took a chance. I was 30 pounds overweight and looking down the barrel of type 2 diabetes. My doctor said that if I didn't lose at least 20 pounds soon, I'd be in the thick of it and would probably need insulin after a while. Luckily, you saved me. I dropped 8 pounds almost immediately, and by the end of the month, I'd lost 28. No more threat of diabetes. My cholesterol is down, and I look and feel better than I have in years. My husband can't keep his hands off me now. Thanks, Brian, and give your granddad a big kiss from me. Nice words to hear, and I'll share more in a bit. Before that, though, it's vital that I tell you how my system works and how it transforms your body and has the power to actually save your life. As I have said, my name is Brian Flatt, fitness expert, husband, and proud father of 3. After my lifelong journey in the health and fitness field, I'm now considered something of a minor fitness celebrity. I've worked with and done business with some of the biggest names in the industry, and it's been an incredible ride. I'm humbled to be labeled one of the top fitness gurus in the world. I've turned around countless folks who failed with other trainers and showed them how to get big results in no time after years of failure. It's awesome, but the truth is I'm nobody special. I'm just a lucky guy who stumbled onto something that's helped Debbie Hayes, a 39-year-old single mom, transform her life. As you can see in this photo, the change is pretty dramatic. Debbie doesn't just look better. She's got the energy and health really to enjoy her life with her kids and new husband in the way she admits she thought was impossible at this point in her life. Like you may be, like I certainly was, Debbie was understandably skeptical when she was introduced to my system. Hell, even after she lost 10 pounds and went on to lose 35 more, she was still skeptical. Debbie wanted medical and scientific proof that what happened to her was the real deal. So, do you know what she did? She actually flew out to the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix and had a full medical checkup, including genetic testing done. Not only did they confirm that her weight loss and improved health were real, the specialist told her that anatomically speaking, she literally had the body of a 25-year-old woman. That's mind-blowing to hear, both for Debbie and me, from some of the world's top physicians. Even more remarkable when you consider that just 2 years back, Debbie was nearly 50 pounds overweight, flabby, sluggish, and feeling so low that in addition to her vastly increased risk of heart attack and diabetes, she was starting to take antidepressant medication to keep her from getting suicidal. She was a defeated woman. No energy, constant aches and pains, and a recently failed marriage with a man who told her flat out that he wasn't attracted to her anymore and that he was tired of being with her. Like many folks, Debbie wanted to make a change but never quite got around to it. Getting up early to go to the gym was hard enough, but looking around at all the tight female bodies and the fit guys made her feel twice as bad about herself. Debbie had procrastinated so long that by the time she hit the turning point, it was just about too late. For Debbie, things had unraveled incredibly fast. Her husband had left, her depression was mounting, and, to top it off, she damn nearly killed herself when she finally decided to do something about her weight. So, it's August of 2015, and Debbie decides that it's really time to make a dramatic effort. Like so many people, she didn't do any research or start slow. She went to extremes. She put on a sweatsuit and vowed to run 3 miles on a Saturday morning. I was floored when I heard this. Debbie hadn't really exercised in years, yet she was wearing sweat clothes and was going to run at 10 a.m. Like most places, Little Rock in Arkansas in August on a sunny mid-morning is well into the 90s and humid. Not the best time to do any hard cardio for a novice, let alone wearing heavy clothes which will make her sweat even more. So, there she is, gasping for air and sweating profusely. I have to admire her will, though. She kept pushing through it, telling herself that without the pain, there'd be no gain. After about a mile and a half, she started getting lightheaded. She figured this was normal and kept going. She went another quarter of a mile before she couldn't take it anymore. She stopped, gulping air and seeing black spots at the edges of her vision. Suddenly, the sweat seemed to be cold and she went to her knees, unable to clear her head. The next thing she knew, she woke up in the back of an ambulance. The medic said that she had passed out and somebody had called for them. She had a severe case of heat exhaustion, bordering on heat stroke, and that she was dangerously dehydrated and would need to spend the night in the hospital. That was when Debbie believes that she really hit rock bottom. In addition to the heat exhaustion, the doctor told her that her cholesterol was through the roof, that her blood pressure was dangerously high, partly why she had such a severe case, and that her triglycerides, blood sugar, was far beyond the danger level. She went to a regular doctor who she'd known for years, but hadn't visited in several. She knew he'd recommend losing weight, but wasn't ready for his full report. The ER docs were on point, Debbie, he informed her. All your levels are terrible. You're already showing signs of type 2 diabetes now. If you don't do something soon, you're going to have to face the fact that insulin shots are in your future and you're barreling straight down the highway to a heart attack and even a stroke. Debbie said that it was like a roaring thunderstorm in her head. So much was going on at once. Mark, her ex-husband, had left her 3 months earlier. She felt fat, ugly, and overstressed with the responsibility of raising 2 kids and working full-time. She was clinically depressed, or at least thought so, and now, on top of everything else, she might be a diabetic and have heart disease. That's a lot to hit somebody with all at once, and Debbie freely admits that at the time she thought a lot about just ending it. Only the thought of her kids kept her going. Only the thought of her kids kept her from doing something drastic. Here she was 37 at the time and feeling like her life was over. What happened? How had her life gone so wrong? She had such high hopes and big dreams once, and now she was pushing 40, and the future was just one big yawning black gulf ready to swallow her whole. Looking in from the outside, any of us could see that her life was hardly over, but when you're in the thick of it, sometimes it's hard to see the good, isn't it? Debbie's situation wasn't really that unusual when you think about it. The signs of weight gain had been there for years. She'd steadily watched as her once firm and shapely body began to even out. No more slim waist, muscular legs, and lean, pretty face. Like most of us, Debbie was good at denial. She just figured she was getting older. She wore clothing that helped hide her declining figure and just figured that Mark's disinterest was due to their schedules and their getting on in years. The late 30s is not getting on in years, but that's what she told herself. Mark leaving her, her passing out in the street, and the doctor's revelations were crushing blows that only served to push her deeper into her depression. Debbie had gotten great at making excuses. Sure, she tried plenty of things in the past 6 or 7 years. She tried starvation diets, no-carb plans, and even going a week only drinking lemonade mixed with cayenne pepper. She'd toyed with SlimFast, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig, and Weight Watchers, but these were all too little or no effect. None of the magic bullet programs did any good and only served to give Debbie more excuses for the lack of weight loss. The problem with many of these systems is that they're all about drastically restricting your diet. So, they go against the body's natural processes and are in many cases not just ineffective, but unhealthy. On top of that, crazy cardio workouts and ridiculous fat belts that melt away the pounds while you stare at the TV only serve to make you miserable and suck money out of your wallet, as Debbie can attest. Debbie thought she was doing the right things, but she didn't know something critical that these big weight loss companies don't tell you. All these diets and programs simply restrict your calorie intake and send your body into survival mode. When the human body is faced with a lack of nutrients, it begins to convert more and more food of any kind into fat cells that can be stored and utilized during periods of starvation. What's even worse is that the body becomes anabolic, meaning it begins to consume dense muscle tissue for energy. So, the body gets fatter while also losing muscles, which diminishes the metabolic rate and creates more fat cells. A vicious cycle that's all too common today. Ironically, Debbie was depriving herself of important carbs, which the body uses for energy. So, in spite of the veggies and protein, Debbie's body was freaking out and keeping her weight on. When you do this and then add lots of mind-numbing cardio, you only make things worse. Debbie was trying to starve her body while forcing it to work harder, which only made her body try to retain more fat and burn more muscle as fuel. She said that these portion-controlled diets never seemed to fill her up. She'd have her dinner and then get so hungry later that evening that she'd eat more, and it was rarely something healthy. Not even a week after her incident while trying to run, Debbie's world seemed to cave in on her. Everything just struck her, and she collapsed one night on her knees in front of the bed and just broke down into body-racking sobs. Debbie didn't realize that her 2 kids had seen her crying and had tiptoed in the room. Before she knew it, her 6-year-old daughter Megan and her 9-year-old son Tommy had both wrapped their arms around her. "Don't worry, Mom," Tommy said innocently. "It'll be okay." Debbie found comfort in their arms, although she felt a little guilty. After all, she was supposed to comfort them. I'm not sharing Debbie's personal pain for a cheap attempt at gaining your sympathy. It's more about both Debbie and myself having a strong desire to reach everyone who needs to hear this. And no matter who you are or where you are, you can relate to some degree, I'll bet. For Debbie, her health went down the drain incredibly fast. She just thought she was aging. The scary part is that getting older is a time bomb. The more days we put behind us, the higher our chances of getting sick, suffering a heart attack, getting diabetes, cancer, having a stroke, you name it. Debbie wasn't facing death, at least not immediately, yet she began to wonder what a few years might bring if something didn't change. Would she be there to see her babies grow up and have families of their own? She was pretty despondent at that point, yet her son and daughter's faith that things would be okay gave Debbie a glimmer of hope. Now, here's the truly remarkable thing. Debbie's story probably would have ended right here if not for my grandfather nearly buying the farm in the jungles of Okinawa. How a wet behind-the-ears Marine lieutenant could reach across more than 70 years to touch Debbie Hayes personally. And I mean that literally. Brian Flatt is still alive and quite spry at 94 and has personally helped Debbie in her quest to retake her life. During World War II, the war in the Pacific was one of the most grueling and destructive campaigns in history. After their surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the Japanese fought viciously to hold their Pacific territories and keep the American naval juggernaut from coming ashore on mainland Japan. After 4 years of bloody fighting, the Allies needed to establish a land base close enough to Japan to be able to launch bombers and gather ground troops for the final push. They needed Okinawa. So, on April 1, 1945, the U.S.-led Allied Navy began to bombard the island, while the Marines sent in the amphibious troops on the ground and joined the Navy pilots in the air to pave the way for a massive assault to take the island. The battle for the island lasted 85 bloody days, and the numbers of Allied and Japanese dead, the number of planes downed, and ships sunk was staggering. A fresh-faced 22-year-old Marine Second Lieutenant Brian Flatt saw his first air combat over Okinawa. He flew as Corsair on over 20 hair-raising yet successful missions over the island. However, his luck would run out on the 22nd of April. I'd like to share a bit of my grandfather's story in his own words. I'll be reading it to you, but what's to follow is directly from his journals and the stories he's been telling me since before I could walk. There were hundreds of them. Japanese Zeros flitted over the jungle like angry hornets, and when they saw us, they came on in force. We were outnumbered at least 3 or 4 to 1. Luckily, the Hell Divers were pretty nimble light dive bombers and had good armaments. Hound Dog 3, break right. My squadron commander, Captain George Murphy, said over the radio. Hound Dog 4 on his wing. There's a group of 3 Zeros angling for Milk Wagon 15 and 16. Take 'em out. Forget them, Jackie, I shouted into my radio. Stay on my 9 and let's take out the loner. I fired off a quick burst from my guns and tore his vertical stabilizer off. As the Zero began to spin, Jack Lesko tore open the enemy's fuselage and oily smoke began to pour out. The Zero dropped quickly out of the sky and we turned our attention back to the other 2. They made their turn and were angling in to get behind us. I swooped left to meet the charge. I got in between the 2 planes, 1 Zero ahead of me and 1 behind, and we began a game of Ring Around the Rosie that had only one outcome. Somebody would be shot down. I was in a pickle for sure. I had a target in front of me and a Zero behind me trying to angle in and take me out. Those Zeros were maneuverable as hell. Luckily, I had Jack to back me up, or thought I did. He'd opened up to let the second Zero get in and so he could get behind him. But unfortunately, he began to lose oil pressure. Hound Dog 3, I'm losing power, Jack shouted over the radio. He sounded like he was on the verge of panicking, not for himself, but for me. "Get back to the ship, Hound Dog 3, Hound Dog 1 said. "I'm heading your way. Hold on, Flatt." Things were already slipping, but fate, God, whoever, gave me a break. The kid pilot in front of me got the bright idea to reverse his turn. That didn't work out for him. I saw his port wing come up and laid on my trigger. As the Zero crossed my path, my rounds bit into his wing and tail and sent him careening off into the blue. But I knew that it would cost me. And when those 20mm rounds struck my starboard wing, I knew it was game over. "Hound Dog 3, Captain Murphy shouted. "You've got smoke pouring out of your starboard flank." "I'm hit, Hound Dog 1, I replied on the radio. "I'm going to have to bail out. Can you get that Zero off my 6? "Roger that, Murphy said in a strained voice. "Try and go east a bit and bail out low. I'll cover you. Sorry, Graham. Good luck, buddy." I could still fly, although not well. I banked hard right and down, using my downward angle to pick up more speed than my engine could generate. I glanced over my shoulder and was in time to see the Zero that had nailed me burst into a fireball. I went in low, and at around 5,000 feet, I pulled back my canopy and bailed out. My chute opened easily, and I slowly glided downward, headed right for the thick of the jungle we'd been tasked to bomb. My heart was pounding in my chest. All I could think about was crashing down in the middle of a platoon of very pissed-off Japanese and getting bayoneted like a stuck pig. I didn't, though. Luck was with me, and I came down in a semi-thick grove of leafy tropical plants and palmettos. I quickly unclipped my chute, crumpled it up as best I could, and hid it under some underbrush. Man, I was scared. I listened for what seemed like an hour. All I heard was the sounds of a dense jungle, but no men. Good thing, too, because it hadn't been the softest landing. I'd jumped low so that my time hanging in the chute would be short. The Japanese weren't above shooting a pilot in his chute, so the less time you stay in the air, the better. But I paid for it. It wasn't until I got out of my harness that I realized I'd been kicked in the side by a mule. Probably had a couple of broken ribs. My right leg buckled under me, too. It might be broken or fractured, but it was going to make moving a treat. I started off through the brush. No idea where I was going, but I knew I had to move. As if the leg and the ribs weren't bad enough, I was bleeding from a gash on my right thigh, a cut on the forehead, and I felt woozy after only a few minutes. I don't really know how far I went. I had the impression of coming out into a clearing or an area of farms or something, but the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, I woke up lying on a cot in the darkened room. That's not a fun feeling, passing out and waking up somewhere strange, especially in a war. Then I heard the voices, Japanese voices. Oh no, I thought to myself, fear slamming into my gut like a hammer blow. I had to escape, and fast. Yeah, sure, broken ribs, maybe a broken leg, and a variety of lacerations. I wasn't going anywhere fast, that's for sure. Suddenly, the face of a young woman appeared by my bedside. She had a pleasant look about her and a smile. I started to say something, but she only shushed me and shook her head. A moment later, a young man, probably my age, knelt beside my bed as well. He seemed to have the same kind appearance and demeanor of whom I assumed was his wife. The man tapped his chest. Tatsu Arashiro. He then pointed to the woman, Maiko. I smiled, not really sure what was going on, except that I was in enemy territory in a small Japanese house. I tapped my chest and said, "Graham." Maiko began to remove a bandage from my head, while Tatsu pulled back the sheet and began to unravel one from my leg. They gently cleaned the wounds and rebandaged them. I noticed that my right calf was tied in a splint. Tatsu noticed me looking and grinned. He shook his head and made a snapping sound. He then held his two pointer fingers together and bent them a bit. A fracture, I thought, not a break. I then touched my ribs and he made the same motion, except he shook his head to indicate yes when he made the snapping sound. He held up two fingers, two broken ribs. Tatsu then held up a sketch he'd drawn of the island with an X on it, I guess indicating our position. I narrowed my eyes and made a gun with my forefinger and thumb and a machine gun noise. He laughed and shook his head to indicate no. I noticed then that these two were quite fit. Maiko was slim and athletic, as was Tatsu. A bit later on, Maiko appeared from another room with a very small infant. I was impressed that a new mother would look so trim shortly after giving birth. That small observation at the time would lead to much bigger things. For the next 4 months, the Arashiros nursed me back to health, and I repaid them by helping around the house and working on their small farm. Again, I was amazed at their robust health. Sure, we were all young, but these two were like dynamos, working all day, talking in the night, and seeming to have an endless supply of energy and happiness. At first, it was very basic. We used hand gestures and drawings to communicate. Yet as the days passed, we began to teach each other our languages. I'll admit their English progressed much further than my Japanese. This was a godsend when it came to the discovery I made a few months in. For one, Tatsu and Maiko didn't live alone. Tatsu's mother, who'd been away for the first few weeks, came to stay with us. Kairo was a very attractive woman who looked to be around 50 or so. She was kind and generous and had as much energy and strength as the younger Arashiros. Amazingly so, too, her body was almost as trim and fit as Maiko's. It's funny because up to that point, I'd always had a little trouble with my weight. Nothing big, mind you. There aren't many fat Marines after all, but even at 22, I constantly fought with my gut and my high cholesterol. Yet, my time with those kind and generous Japanese civilians quickly trimmed me down and I felt my own energy levels ramping up in spite of my injuries. Funny thing about that too, I healed remarkably fast. I couldn't quite put my finger on it either. We ate well, but nothing spectacular. We had plenty of rice, delicious and succulent pork that seemed to flourish all over Okinawa. We had vegetables, fruit, and plenty of sake. Thank goodness. Now, this was the 1940s, and fitness and carbs and protein shakes and the like hadn't even been thought of yet. But even then I wondered what their secret was. Do you know that today, and even back in the 40s, Okinawa is known as one of the world's blue zones? Basically, the life expectancy is at least 100, and it's not necessarily because of the food. Even way back then, I wanted to know what was going on. Luckily, as the language barrier broke down, I was able to talk with the family, and somewhere after month 3, well after the island had been taken by our forces, I'd received the first of what would be several big surprises. Kairo was not Tatsu's mother, but his great-grandmother. This fit and attractive 50-year-old woman was actually 85. What? I asked one night as we ate supper, how can that be? Kairo, you don't look a day over 50. And a damn healthy 50 at that. Hell, my own mother is 45 and doesn't look so good. Ah, Flatt-san, this is ancient land, much knowledge. Ways are different than yours. Obviously, but how? Our secret is simple, Tatsu told me, but very powerful, Graham. Is a better way to eat, move, and live. Much harmony with the body. I'd like to know, I said. We teach you, Maiko said. You already have been doing, but we show you why. And they did. They showed me the amazing truth behind their robust physical and mental health. They opened my eyes to a whole new way of thinking about eating, exercising, and health that, especially in 1945, I'd never even thought about. The Arashiros were the kindest and warmest people I'd ever known. Even after I was 100%, I didn't want to leave them. Part of me knew that I had to, of course. I had to report back to my unit and let them and my family know I was alive, but the happiness I felt living with those simple yet wise Japanese people would be something I carried with me forever. And my grandfather lived up to those words in many ways. He's still one of the wisest and most interesting men I know. And at 94, he's in great shape, and you'd swear he was a man 20 years younger. He still goes back to Okinawa every year or two to visit the Arashiros. Well, Kairo has passed on, although not until 1969 at the age of 108. Maiko and Tatsu are still going strong, just like him. Their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren are as much Grandpa Graham's family as we are. The secrets that Arashiro family shared with him changed his life in a fundamental way. His life, my dad's, and now mine, yours, and nearly 100,000 others too. What really blows me away is that while Brian Flatt has always been my inspiration and my motivation to dedicate my life to fitness, it wasn't until just 2 years ago that a chance conversation led me to realize he had something far more incredible to share. It was only then that he told me exactly what the Arashiros had taught him. Isn't that a kick in the pants? Regardless, now that I know what Grandpa knows, now that I know what the Arashiros and millions of other healthy Japanese have known for thousands of years, there's just no way I can keep it to myself. Grandpa's revelation has dramatically altered my career and led me to be able to serve so many more people in such a powerful way, including a chance meeting with Debbie Hayes that would change both our lives. It's one of those chance meetings that when you look back, seems like fate. I was in Little Rock, Arkansas, visiting a friend who owned a gym there. My friend suggested that since I was in town and had this new program inspired by my grandfather's experience in Okinawa, why not do a seminar at the gym and spend a week or two teaching the program in exchange for before and after photos and testimonials? I agreed, and we spent a little money together to advertise the seminar on the radio and in the newspaper. The turnout was astonishing. Go figure, right? A new super secret and amazing weight loss seminar that shows you how to drop a pound or more a day and it's free? I can't imagine why we got such a good turnout. The first day was a talk I gave on myths and legends of fitness and weight loss and how what we believed in Western cultures was mostly inaccurate and ineffective. I told Grandpa's story and shared some of the unique information he'd learned from the Aroshiros as well as the scientific studies that backed it all up. I showed everyone what to do and said that I was looking for a single volunteer to work with, somebody who was really hungry for a change and who would be open to working with me one-on-one. That's when Debbie stood up. She'd been sitting in the back row quietly. She seemed very shy at first, but still had the guts to stand up and volunteer. I could see she was considerably overweight and she had a look about her. She looked defeated, and I'd swear her eyes were pleading with me that what I was talking about was really the truth. I didn't ask her in front of everyone, but after the group broke up, we found a quiet corner to talk, and Debbie shared her story with me. On top of everything else, Brian, she finished up, I've got a class reunion coming up soon, my 20-year reunion. I haven't been to any of them, and now I'm going to go back like this. Take it easy, I told her. Life isn't over because you put on some weight. I can and will help you. Spend the week with me. Go through my system exactly as I showed you, and I think you're going to be amazed. Even better, you can repeat the process as much as you want to get where you want to go. Can I lose 40 pounds? Debbie asked me. If you stick with it, you can, I promised her. You can not only drop the pounds, you'll find that your energy levels are higher and that many health issues you're facing will take care of themselves. Just trust me, Debbie. Luckily, she did, and the results were amazing. I guess the Aroshiro's knowledge and the system I'd created were the miracles that Debbie and her kids were hoping for. The change in Debbie was amazing. Every day we worked together, she saw weight come off when she stepped on the scale. But that wasn't the biggest change. Her whole attitude, her whole outlook seemed to brighten day by day. It was like watching a light bulb slowly grow brighter until it was almost too brilliant to look at. Debbie lost 10 pounds that week and went down 2 dress sizes. She'd come into the gym each day and giggle like a schoolgirl when she told me that all her jeans were starting to slide off her hips and that her dresses were beginning to feel like circus tents on her. Even after that week together, Debbie would call me almost every day. After the 3rd week, she called and was almost too giddy to talk. "How's it going?" I asked. "Brian," she said, "I'm already down 22 pounds, but that's not the best of it. I went to my doctor today and he was floored. My BP is normal, my LDL cholesterol has dropped way down, and my blood sugars are well within the norm." "Awesome," I exclaimed, a big smile on my face. There was a pause, and Debbie started to cry a little. "Brian, I was heading for diabetes and maybe a heart attack and a stroke the last time I saw the doctor. Do you have any idea what you've given me?" I did, of course, but I let her talk. "You've given me back my life. I look better, feel great, and I feel like life is worth living again," Debbie said through her sniffles. "Do you know when I came to that seminar, I was taking antidepressant meds to help me keep from ending it all? Words can't express how grateful I am. If that isn't testimonial to touch your heart, I don't know what is." We talked for a bit, and I told her to let me know how the reunion went. A few weeks later, I got a call from Debbie again. She told me that she was now in a size 9, which is pretty good for a girl of 5'7" who'd lost 40+ pounds. She said that at the reunion, she ran into a man she'd known in high school, and something had sparked between them. Long story short, they started dating and got married a few months back. I met Debbie 2 years ago. Debbie has even become one of my instructors, teaching my system at my friend's gym in Little Rock. Yet, when I first worked with Debbie, something clicked inside me. Yes, I was already in the personal fitness game, but Debbie showed me how sharing my system with more people was what I really needed to do. It was my mission, what I should dedicate my life to. It's one thing to work with a few people at a time. It's another to share something so important and so needed with as many folks as possible. I kinda think that's what Grandpa wanted that day when he opened up his vault, so to speak. So I started a crusade. I began teaching the system my grandfather and I worked up at REV Fitness, the gym I managed in Southern California. The results were like Debbie's, clear, big, and emotionally rewarding for everyone. The stories just poured in. Everyone had some version or other of what Debbie had gone through. It was obvious to me that I had to do more, to use the internet and social media to spread the word to everyone who wanted it. I also knew that I'd be incurring the wrath of the so-called fitness industry, big gym chains, weight loss systems, and maybe even the medical industry. Screw them. I have a duty to share this, and I'm not going to hold back because of somebody else's greed and profits that come at the expense of innocent people's health. I started out going right for the gold, writing letters and emails and making calls to popular TV shows like Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and even The Biggest Loser. I got rejections from the big gym chains, Fitness Magazine, and Women's Health, just to name a few. I guess I wasn't famous enough. Oh well, that wasn't going to stop me. So I had to put the system into a format that everyone could use and get easily, that I could email or people could download from my website. So I began creating a plan based around my grandfather's experiences and knowledge, based on a set of principles, and that would cover a single week. Then, anyone following the system could simply repeat it as many times as they wanted to get their own personal weight goals. I listed dozens of the most powerful herbs and minerals you should add to your diet right now to melt away fat, turn back the biological clock, and dramatically rejuvenate long-abused cells. It's not enough to know what to do, you need to know what not to do, too. So, I wrote a list of the so-called health foods and veggies that actually damage your health and pack on the unsightly fat. Plus, my system, or my granddad's and the Arashiro's to be fair, includes an exact step-by-step plan to shift your eating cycles and jumpstart your metabolism into high gear. It's a meal plan that maximizes your body's own biochemistry for amazing weight loss results. Aside from food, herbs, and minerals, the book explains the process for the ultimate week of fat-burning magic that starts immediately and results in as much as 7 or even a whopping 10 pounds of weight loss. Like all good programs, of course, you have to be able to track your progress, see how you're doing, and make adjustments to fit your own unique situation. So, our program provides a great progress tracking workbook too. As I was talking it over with my granddad, he mentioned something very important. It's not enough to do something, you have to know why you're doing it, and you need to get your head in the game. So, we have created a motivational guide that gives you the extra little boost of encouragement that really makes a big difference when you step on the scale. Just imagine it for a moment. You stand before the mirror and examine a body that's visibly leaner. You turn sideways or look down at your belly and notice that it's smaller than it was last week, and you didn't do a single minute of gut-wrenching, mind-numbing, and gasping cardio. I give you a step-by-step plan that explains the new herbs, minerals, and food you need to eat and the exact amounts. This simple step-by-step action plan works for anyone, regardless of weight, gender, or age. It's easy to understand, and I provide you with all the science behind everything you're doing each day. I named the system the 1 Week Diet. It's simple and says it all, right? Based on the thousands of people who've used the 1 Week Diet, I can tell you that the average weekly weight loss for this program is around 7 pounds or a pound a day, and the higher end of the scale is over 10. Folks like Brenda in Cleveland, Ohio, who lost 8 pounds on her first go-around and a total of 31 pounds by repeating the plan. Joel in Boston, Mass., who dropped double-digit pounds in 1 week and lost 2 waist sizes. And Tasha LaBeau in Mississippi, who lost an incredible 44 pounds in less than 5 weeks and was able to come back from type 2 diabetes and has never looked or felt better. I want you to understand that this system isn't just some quick fix. Yes, you'll lose weight, repair damaged cells, and improve your health. Yet, what the 1-week diet really gives you is a lifelong way of looking at your health. That's what's so special about what my grandfather learned in Okinawa. It's not a one-shot deal. I know that everybody has different needs. So, I simply give you the tools and knowledge you need to achieve your optimum level of health. I give you the plan and show you why it works so that you're empowered to manage your health in a way that works best for you. Just lather, rinse, and repeat as many times as you want to get your weight goal, which is why you get those tracking charts. That way you can monitor your metabolism, internal health, and your diet and make adjustments where needed. The 1-week diet, let's call it 1WD for short, isn't a restrictive diet. There's no calorie counting or any other stupid rules that are virtually impossible to follow. You don't have to starve yourself or buy expensive health foods that are usually packed with preservatives and other chemicals. And because overdoing it in the gym actually robs your body of what it needs to lose weight, there's no heavy cardio in my system either. On the other hand, if you're looking for a quick and easy way just to shrink a little belly fat, I'm also throwing in an easy-to-do 3-minute tummy toner video along with a little-known belly detox formula. Believe it or not, you've already got the ingredients in your kitchen right now. This one tip alone melts inches from your waist so you can look good for your next special occasion or trip to the beach. Page 27 of my book explains how to kick your fat-burning cycle back into gear, so that might be the first thing you want to read. By the way, if you don't really want to lose any weight, but want more energy and feel healthier, go to page 48 and follow the tips to destroy free radicals and toxins that are running rampant throughout your body, limiting your energy, prematurely aging you, and even heightening your risk of cancer and heart disease. 1WD gives you the knowledge to make all that happen and so much more. After hearing what we've discussed so far, you should be coming to the conclusion that there's nothing else on earth like the 1-week diet system. It's jam-packed with the tools you need to lose weight rapidly and recapture your lost physique. You'll also empower your body to turn your health completely around, even if you're seriously ill and depressed like Debbie had been. Are there other options? Yeah, let's examine them a bit. You could, like Debbie once did, try a new magic bullet that comes out, crazy and gross diets, starving yourself, strapping on some gadget that sends electrical pulses into your gut while you watch the tube. Yet, here's the plain old solid test. If these approaches really did anything, if the claims that they made were true, then why does the Center for Disease Control continually report a 35% increase in obesity each year? And why is heart disease and cancer still killing over 100,000 people each year in the U.S. alone? These are our loved ones, friends, and even our children whom just didn't know what you'll know after tapping into Grandpa Graham's system. You can burn yourself out on workouts like P90X and damage your joints, or starve yourself eating tiny and pricey food portions like Nutrisystem, or use the antiquated Weight Watchers point system, which starves your body and forces it into survival mode. Survival mode is when your body hoards anything you put into it as an unsightly fat. It's trying to preserve itself in the only way it can. Do you know that I still have pangs of guilt when I think about what I used to tell my personal training clients? Run 3 miles a day, cut the carbs and salt, drown yourself in water. And then the Arashiro family, through my grandfather, showed me that doing this deprived them of vital nutrients, trashing their metabolism and pushing them to binge at night and pack on the fat even faster. How about this option? Fork out over $400 each month on a certified trainer and nutritionist who all take silly one-day courses to get certified but have no real understanding of the body's digestive processes, how your fat-burning cycle works, and are totally ignorant of changes in your metabolism that take place in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Or you can open the door to 1WD and uncover the personal detox secret celebrity trainers like Bill Phillips, Jillian Michaels, Mary Helen Bowers, and Danny Musico jealously keep to themselves. Thanks to the 1-week diet system, you'll get these incredibly powerful secrets to use for yourself in the next 3 minutes. Want another option? Okay, how about the awesome and truly amazing weight loss pills you can get your hands on? You know, the ones that don't actually make you lose weight, but instead pump your brain full of destructive and debilitating chemicals that simply trick you into thinking you're not hungry. Ever looked into the side effects of these so-called wonder pills? Or maybe just saw the advertising that shows you how absolutely wonderful life will be after shoving these useless and costly, not to mention dangerous drugs down your gullet? Here's the unfortunate truth behind the garbage. Proven side effects that include, but are not limited to, seizures, migraines, depression, nervousness, constipation, dizziness, upset stomach, fatigue, increased blood pressure, insomnia, blurred vision, and diarrhea, just to name a few. You're a smart person, though, so I'm probably not revealing any big news here. Then there's the 1-week diet choice. There aren't any strict rules that hold you back. You absolutely do not starve yourself at any time. There are no expensive drugs or supplements to gulp down, and you don't bring about rapid failure by subjecting yourself to grueling, ineffective, and useless workouts. All you do is follow the basic and scientifically proven nutritional formula based on the natural biology and put more of the foods you enjoy back into your eating. Every day brings you closer to the optimal level of health that keeps you fit and energetic for a lifetime. When you consider that the 1WD system is not only based on ancient Japanese wisdom and has been validated by the scientific community, top doctors around the world, and by more than 94,150 folks just like you and me, it shouldn't come as any surprise that when I first began to make it available online, it seemed fair to charge $199. That's a fraction of what you'd shell out for a few doctor's visits, even one prescription medication, 3 months of diet pills, or even a month with a trainer. Yet, once you get your hands on the easy-to-follow system, the little-known herbs and nutrients, the healthy food you should avoid at all costs, the wellness tracking workbook, and the motivational guide, all of which are completely adjustable to your specific needs. And don't forget the 3-minute tummy toner formula to shrink that belly quickly. You enjoy long-term health. You burn away as much fat as you want, and you look and feel more youthful than you have in years. And what about the priceless things I haven't even talked about? The feeling that comes from knowing you'll be around and vital so that you can not just see your kids and adorable grandkids grow up, you'll be able to partake actively in their lives too. Picture your golden years as they should be, living an active outdoor lifestyle, enjoying your hobbies, reveling in the love of your family, and taking fantastic trips, all while looking and feeling younger than you or anyone thinks. When you tell people your age, they'll think you're full of it. All because, like me, you learned the truth. And you can share it with the ones you care about most, friends, parents, kids, and your significant other. When you look at it like that, $199 seems pretty reasonable. Honestly, I've been very surprised at the number of people who think I'm selling myself short, but this is my life's work. It's not just about making a fast buck. What I learned from Brian Flatt and the Arashiro family, the secrets that the 1-week diet system turned tens of thousands of lives around, showed me a clear and worthy path and literally saved Debbie Hayes' life. I really believe that God's hand is in all of this. From my grandfather's miraculous survival story to his revealing his long-held secrets to me just at the time when I needed them most, there would be no 1WD to share with you. There's a verse that says something like, "To whom much is given, much is required." I couldn't look myself in the mirror each day if I just used Grandpa's gift as a way to lever money out of people's wallets. That's not why everything happened the way it did. So no, I can't in good conscience ask you to pay anything even remotely close to $199 for the 1-week diet system today. Frankly, you won't even pay $99 or even as little as $59, which is less than the cost of 2 personal training sessions, 1 month's supply of most supplements, or even a cheap dinner out. When you say yes to 1WD today, you're saying yes to save your own life while regaining the body and vitality you may have been missing for 10, 20, 30, or even 40 years. All I really ask is for a small bit to help cover my website maintenance and distribution costs. To invest a tiny $47 and get a huge return on your long-term health and well-being. I'm certain you agree that this is an awesome offer, a great deal, and you want to get started right away. I'd like to sweeten the pot a bit, though, if you indulge me. As a special thanks for watching this video presentation, if you act now, I'll let you have the entire 1-week diet system for only $37. I strongly encourage you to make this vital choice today and to empower yourself with a simple, easy-to-follow, and physician-trusted and absolutely proven way to lose weight rapidly. So, click the Add to Cart button below and you'll be taken to our secure checkout page that looks like this. As soon as you've entered your information, you'll get instant access to the entire 1-week diet system. You get to view all of the little-known herbs and minerals, the easy-to-follow delicious meal plan, the tracking workbook, the maximum weight loss motivation guide, plus a list of sweet desserts and tasty snacks that most diets label as evil, but that you can safely add back into your eating. As a special bonus, a secret that I know has saved many marriages and relationships, I'm also throwing in the exclusive list of sex drive-enhancing foods so potent you could wind up in traction. They ramp up your libido regardless of gender. Starting tonight, you'll have that special, intimate vitality and energy to make you feel like a kid again. On top of that, I'd also like to offer you a free tea and smoothie recipe guidebook. These delicious recipes cleanse the body of dangerous toxins and free radicals that are directly linked to the serious health issues such as heart disease, cancer, and organ failure. They say to treat your body like a temple. Well, these healthy and tasty recipes keep your temple clean and fresh. You get it all, and get it all right now. Right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can download all the materials or even print out as many copies as you would like and begin the program in just 2 minutes from right now. The total and permanent solution to your health and well-being is only 20 seconds away, and all it takes is the click of a button. So, don't wait. Take advantage of this awesome plan at the awesome price of only $37 and change your life right now. Still a little hesitant? Not sure if the 1-week diet system is right for you? Then let me put your mind at ease. I'm so absolutely certain in Grandpa's information and research and its proven results that I'm going to back up your small $37 investment today with a 100% total satisfaction, no questions asked, 60-day money-back guarantee. I know telling you to eat more food that you love, enjoy more carbs, add more seasoning to your food, and to cut back on your workouts probably sound pretty damn nuts. And even though I have thousands of stories from people who have struggled with blood sugar and high cholesterol levels who got indisputable proof from the lab that these levels have dropped back to normal, that you may still need a little push in the right direction. This is arguably the most important decision of your life, and I believe so strongly that 1WD is going to help you that I wouldn't be doing my part if I didn't make getting it into your hands as easy as I could. So, all I'm really asking is that you say maybe to the 1-week diet system right now. Get your instant access to the Fat Burning Guide and Meal Plan, the Progress Workbook, the Weight Loss Motivator Handbook, the Detoxing and Life-Changing Tea and Smoothie Recipes, the 3-minute tummy toner formula, and the secret and potent sex drive boosting food list. Find out when and what you should be eating to get you the transformation you desire even faster, and discover what special foods you can eat to dramatically enhance your intimate life as soon as this evening. Take a full 2 months to try this out for yourself, and if for any reason you are not completely satisfied or you see the numbers on the scale going in the wrong direction and your health not dramatically improving, just send an email to the address we'll give you on the member page saying that you'd like a refund, and I'll immediately send back what you've paid today with no questions asked. Yes, you heard me right. I'll send your money back right away simply because you asked without bugging you with any questions. That's how confident I am in the power of the 1-week diet system. All I ask is that you actually follow the system and give it an honest try for 60 days. Think about it. I'm taking all the risk and you're getting all the benefits. And you know what? I'm perfectly comfortable with that. 1WD is about empowering you to reclaim your health and your life completely. And if you aren't thrilled, then I don't want to take a single penny from you. Honestly, this is really the easiest decision you will ever make. A choice that gives you the complete weight loss guide and eating plan, the proven tracking workbook, and don't forget the 3-minute tummy toner video packed full of simple 6-pack tweaks you can do before bed, and so much more. Get started now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. You can't imagine the pressure I get from my friends and even competitors every day who say I should inflate my price for the 1-week diet system and start making the truly big bucks. Think about coming to my site tomorrow and it had been taken down. I couldn't share all the powerful herbs, fat-melting minerals, and nutrients you've been desperately searching for. What a tremendous missed opportunity for good people looking for a proven solution. Which means if you're ready to stop dieting, stop starving yourself, stop wasting your life at the gym, stop being a slave to your medication, then you must act now by clicking the Add to Cart button you see below this video screen. This video is almost over. There are only a few seconds left to make this 100% risk-free decision. I can't decide for you. Whether you desire to reclaim a lifetime of perfect health or not is a choice only you can make. You can just let the video end and decide not to check out the risk-free 1-week diet system and see for yourself. That's certainly your prerogative, but if you make that decision, what's really going to change? Do you try another expensive and grueling heart-busting workout program or another useless crash diet that doesn't really work and can even damage your body? Are you going to keep burning yourself out, wasting money at the gym without results you want, waking up feeling sluggish, dragging your butt every morning with aches and pains, and dealing with that pounding migraine you can't get rid of? How do you lose the weight you need to lose? How do you revitalize damaged cells all over your body? How do you defend against metabolic and other life-ending diseases? You can choose to stand upon the train tracks of life with your fingers in your ears while the freight train of disease and death bears down on you. Just like the one that almost nailed Debbie Hayes and could have left her kids motherless. A trainload of poor health, depression, and loss that was truly gunning for her life. These aren't really options at all, and you know it, which is why you need to click the Add to Cart button below and try the 1-week diet for yourself right now, 100% risk-free. Get the step-by-step guides, the food list, the smoothies, the herbs and minerals, the 3-minute tummy toner formula, everything. And see how fast and easy it is to dissolve the disgusting fat that's been clinging to your body for far too long. To jumpstart your metabolism into a 24-hour fat-burning machine. To maintain cellular health levels that effectively fight disease. Eradicate toxins that are sticking to your arteries so you can look and feel decades younger. The choice is yours. Here's to a long, healthy, and happy life. I'm Brian Flatt, and I thank you for watching. Still here? That's okay. I know we've covered a lot of stuff in this presentation, and you still may have some questions about what you just saw. To help you out a bit, I'll go ahead and answer some of the most common questions people ask me about the 1-week diet system. Why do I keep going back to my old out-of-shape body? You work out for a little while, see some results, and then backslide to the old habits because you weren't conditioned mentally, only physically, and maybe not even that. Physical fitness is only half the battle. All fitness is 80% mental. Gyms and personal trainers give folks a temporary band-aid, but never address the actual root cause. The 1-week diet system includes proven strategies for getting your mind in the right state to make your journey so much easier and permanent. What results can I expect in the first week? Every day you will notice how simple my methods are and how the secret fat-burning super minerals and nutrients speed up the fat-burning process even while you rest at night. We're all different, yet after the first week with 1WD, most people experience one or more of the following: more energy, 7 to 10 pounds lighter, joint relief, self-motivation, happiness, and a positive change in their physiological states. How can simple minerals, nutrients, smoothies, and eating more carbs benefit me? Well, like I mentioned during the presentation you just saw, a lot of foods most people believe are healthy can slow down your metabolism because they lack the nutrients and enzymes to destroy fat and toxins. Also, there are certain things we should eat but many of us don't, and our bodies are suffering from a lack of important minerals and nutrients to help burn fat and improve overall health. What happens after I click Add to Cart? Once you have clicked the Add to Cart button that is right below this video, you're taken to the secure checkout page. Just enter your information and then you're given instant access to the entire 1-week diet system. You can view all the materials, the list, and the guides right on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can also download everything and print out as many copies as you would like. How does the guarantee work again? No sweat, literally. Because this program saved Debbie Hayes' life, and I truly believe it can give you back decades of healthy living as well, I want there to be no barriers to entry, as they say. That means removing all risk, so it's a no-brainer for you. Once you have clicked that Add to Cart button below, you get a full 60 days to try the program out for yourself, and if you are not satisfied for any reason whatsoever, you simply send me an email and I refund your investment today with no questions asked. How long will this program be available? I wish I had a definite answer for that. Obviously, I, not to mention Grandpa Graham, want to keep this presentation online as long as possible, and we want to help as many people as we can. Yet, we're taking off a lot of powerful people here. In other words, if you are ready to change your life, you have to act right now. Okay, I'm ready to change my life for the better. What is the next step? Simply click the Add to Cart button below, get the entire program, and be protected by a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Click the button below right now.